For the plus impact, the high steep, we've got 6 corrections. But if you could think back to the opposite of the high steep would be the low shallow. And when we talked in the low shallow, we talked about how to get a ball in the air, you need more of a V. You need a club to come down, under, and go back up. The low shallow had the bottom too wide. Well, guess what? You've got the bottom too narrow, too much like a V. We've got the swing too upright and the bottom too narrow, and the swing's too long on both sides, causing the golf club to come down, under, and up, and the ball just keeps going straight in the air. Now, you'll see this high steep with all of your clubs, and a lot of times with the driver or the woods, you'll see it spin a lot. So we need to widen this bottom. We need to take that V and flatten it out. So a good way to do that is in the downswing, we want you to feel that your turn is fairly rounded and fairly level, and so when you turn, nothing is trying to work like a Ferris wheel and swing down and get under the ball. That'll let the club still get under the ball, but it's going to have the club moving more tangent to the ground.
That arm motion that goes with that more rounded level turn would be like skipping a stone. Most all of us grew up taking a flat stone and being able to throw it, and that throw was very level as it went off. So
very sidearm.
Very sidearm. So it's still the same very sidearm versus down underarm right there. Throw.
Another thing you can do in the backswing so that we don't hit so far under the ball is to feel that the arms and club are swinging a little bit flatter, to where now you can see that's going to let me sweep the club along the ground, not dig underneath it so much. Another thing in the same segment in the backswing is the shorter I can make my swing and the wider I can make my swing, the lower I'll hit the ball. When you're hitting the ball too high, the swing is long and it's too narrow. When I say narrow, this club head has gotten on this side of the golf ball. When we say get it shorter and wider, that's going to keep the club head away from my right ear, and now that's going to let the club come into the ball on that flatter, shallower angle, versus this club's already on this side of the ball. This club's coming straight down on top of the ball. In the impact and follow through, kind of keeping with the same theme, we want the through swing to be flatter and we want it to be shorter. People that hit the ball high tend to have a high full finish, and usually it's upright. So the more we can make the through swing shorter and flatter to where you feel like the club head isn't going to get above your shoulders, to where I'm keeping the club head, it's more of a feel, but I'm going to feel like the club head never gets above my shoulders, so I can take that V bottom and flatten it out. Finally, at address, the more I could stand further from the ball, the more that would let me move the club along the ground and get rid of that V and start to flatten out that bottom.
So these are really the 5 or 6 correct, if you will, elements to put into neutralize that high steep shot that you're hitting out of a plus impact in which the bottom of the swing is just too narrow.